everyone, I'm Chef Danielle Sepsy from the Hungry Gnome in New York City, and today we're going to be making an outrageous breakfast burrito here on Gnome at Home. I love this breakfast burrito because it combines nostalgic American flavors with classic Latin flavors. I'm a huge fan of sweet and savory combinations, and this breakfast burrito incorporates all of that. You've got all the classics like avocado, egg, Monterey cheese, black beans, but a few other shocking ingredients, including bologna. Yes, I said it, bologna. Don't be scared. Trust me, don't stop the video here. You will love this. Besides that, we've got a sweet treat inside this burrito, sweet plantains. What says brunch like a sweet and savory breakfast burrito? Let's get to it. The first step is making the sweet plantains. I work with an incredible team of bakers and chefs back at the Hungry Gnome, and a lot of them are actually from Latin countries, and they've taught me so much about Latin cuisine. So when you get plantains, you can get green plantains or you can get them like this. It looks like a banana, but you want them super dark. When they're black, that means they're really sweet and they're super ripe, and they're going to be really flavorful and decadent inside this burrito. And then we're just going to slice them into thin slices, maybe like about 1/3 of an inch or so. And if it's hard, sometimes they're a little slippery, just flatten it out and take your knife and just cut this way, but be careful of your fingers. You just want to cut them into thin strips like so, and then we'll cut them in half the other way. Look at that. So each plantain might be about 6 to 8 pieces. All right, we're at the stove and we're ready to caramelize our plantains and make our black beans. So I have a cast iron skillet, which I think is the best way to get a super caramelized plantain. So this is getting nice and hot here. Then I have a small pot for my black beans, and I'm just going to add to that pot just about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and then about 1 small to medium yellow onion, and we'll get that nice and softened and aromatic. There are so many flavor components in this burrito, and you want to make sure that each one is seasoned really nicely, and then when it comes together, holy moly, it is heaven. So our onions are just sweating here. Just get them nice and fragrant. I have here just 1 can of black beans that I drained and rinsed. It's important to rinse them because they have a lot of extra starchy liquid on them that just may add too much gooey kind of starchy texture to the burrito that we don't want. We want to keep the nice integrity of those wonderful beans, so you want to rinse them in cold water. So first, let's just get our onions going. I'm going to season my onions with salt and some black pepper. And my pan's getting hot here for the plantains. Let's get those started. So we need a little bit of butter. So my butter is in the pan. I have about 2 tablespoons of butter, and it's getting brown. So brown butter is just a nutty, incredible flavor and aroma. So now that it's brown, we're going to lay in the plantains. And now we're gonna do a little salt on our plantains. I'm going to give it a little bit of black pepper, and we'll add sugar shortly, but just let them kind of go on one side, get them nice and caramelized, then we'll flip them. Our onions are nice and fragrant over here. They're starting to soften. Let's throw in our beans. I've got the 1 can of black beans that we drained. We're going to season them with salt and pepper right now. Let's take a look at our plantain. I just want to make sure we're going, oh yeah. We are browning, we are looking great. So once it's caramelized, you can flip it over. You also want them to soften. If they're not super ripe, this is your chance to kind of soften them up also. All right, these are getting nice and caramelized. So that means it's time for sugar. So there's no exact science to this. I'm just sprinkling white sugar just all over the top. It smells amazing. Our beans are hot. The onions are sauteed. Let's give it a splash of red wine vinegar. Just a splash, maybe 2 tablespoons. What the vinegar is going to do is just add a nice brightness. We always need to have a blend of salt, acid, fat in our dishes, and that's where the acid's coming into play, and that's gonna just take the flavors up a notch, because the beans on their own are kind of bland, right? So this will just bring them to a whole new level. I'm gonna shut this off. Beans are almost ready. I just wanna taste them because we have to taste our food as we go. If we don't taste our food, we will not know what it's going to taste like until it's all assembled and it's too late. The beans are perfect. Bright from the red wine vinegar, perfect amount of salt. The onions are great. Transfer the beans to a bowl. And this amount that I'm making here today should make about 4 burritos. There's our beans, set that aside. My plantains are looking fabulous. You can flip them again, just turn them every so often, just make sure they're evenly brown, nothing's getting too dark. So while those are just finishing up, just another minute or two, we can get our eggs together. So I'm just gonna make simple scrambled eggs today. I'm really a runny egg kind of girl through and through. I love a runny yolk. But when it comes to a breakfast burrito, you don't want it to be too much of a mess. It's already kind of a messy experience. And I think that having the scrambled egg gives you a more even bite of all the ingredients when you eat it. And also it's a little bit less messy. So I have 4 eggs scrambled here. And you really want to whisk, 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 whisk until it's one even color. I'm going to add some salt. Oh geez, we're live here, people. Got salt, we've got pepper, seasoning, every single component. This is crucial to making a flavorful dish. Don't spray this directly by the flame. You could have a fire, be careful. Pan is getting warm, let's add those eggs. I don't want it to be like super chopped up scrambled eggs, if that makes sense. I want it to be kind of fluffier and bigger pieces of scrambled eggs so that's easier to incorporate and it's not such a mess again. Look how fast this is cooking. A second. Once they're just about cooked, right now, you'll see it's still a little bit wet, take it off. Undercook your eggs because they will cook through by the time we're ready to assemble. Beautiful, fluffy eggs there. Here the best I can, and then we're going to cook our bologna. Plantains are ready, so let's not get them too dark. Oh yeah, they're nice and caramelized, looking fabulous. Bologna. If you didn't grow up eating bologna, I kind of feel bad for you. For me, I'm a 90s kid. It was such a 90s thing. You know, I had my white bread sandwiches with bologna, lettuce, and mayonnaise, and I was all about it. But then my mom introduced me to something called fried bologna. Yes, fried bologna. It's like bacon, okay? So that's what we're gonna do here. It's kind of gonna be like a ham. So you may see ham or bacon in a breakfast burrito. This is kind of like putting those two together. So I have just kind of fairly thinly sliced bologna from the deli section. Put a little bit of olive oil in your pan, just a little bit, because it'll help us crisp this puppy up. Put a few pieces at a time, maybe 3 pieces for a pan this size. You don't want to crowd it or else it won't brown. Leave it on one side until it really starts to get crispy and brown. Okay, our bologna is nice and crisp and brown on the edges. We can just take a fork, I think that's the easiest way, and flip it and just continue the browning process. Oh yeah. You'll probably want about 2 pieces, 2 to 3 per burrito. Looks like our bologna is ready. Look at that. It's so cool looking. We're going to drain it on some paper towels on a plate, and then you can continue to cook them. Let's shut this off. And then I have here my cast iron pan heating up again. I wiped it out. You don't have to wash it, just wipe it out from the plantains. So it's really important to take your tortilla and warm it in a pan or in the oven even, because it just makes it a little bit more malleable. So let's just warm this for a second. Just takes a few seconds on each side. Be careful. Time for sauce making and assembly. I have here some very unique ingredients. It is so bizarre. When I first read about this sauce, I was so confused. I don't know if I was nauseated or intrigued. I ended up being intrigued, and I'm so glad I was because I love this sauce. It is so great on this. It is great on burgers. It can be on BLT sandwiches, whatever. It starts with sweetened condensed milk. Yeah, how bizarre is that? I'm just going to pour some in a bowl. Let's call it a half a cup. You will have more than enough sauce here, but you can put it in a jar and you can put it in your fridge and eat it all week long in different ways. So half a cup, let's say, of sweetened condensed milk, and then garlic. Bizarre, I know. I'm going to put about 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. I'm going to put a pinch of salt, a little bit of black pepper, And then for acidity, and just to balance the sweetness, we need some vinegar. So this is just white distilled vinegar. I'm going to start with about 1.5 teaspoons. Let's whisk it together. So it's kind of like a garlicky aioli, but with this sticky sweetness. And it's so bizarre, but so good. Okay, mayonnaise. Let's put 1/4 cup to start. Whisk it together. Still need a little bit more. That wasn't quite 1/4 cup. Well, don't wear your sauce either. I'm gonna add a little bit more garlic too. We really want that to pop. So let's call it 2 teaspoons of garlic. Bizarre and good. That's all I have to say. Bizarre and good. Time to assemble our burrito. I've got that softened, slightly warm tortilla here. First, we're going to put avocado. Just like texturally, it sits better at the bottom. So I'm going to put a few slices of nice, ripe avocado. Then we're going to put our plantains. Just a few slices of plantain. Then we're going to put some egg. Then we'll put some cheese. This is Monterey Jack cheese. I also love to use Chihuahua cheese, which is a Mexican cheese. They usually use it for quesadillas because it's really melty and gooey, similar to a Monterey. Then we will put some beans. So this is the sauteed black beans with the onion. And then of course, crispy, delicious fried bologna. I think we'll only be able to fit 2 slices in this one. It all depends on the size of your tortilla. Sometimes you can find the really big ones, which I encourage because it's a little bit easier to handle. And then some of that sauce. I'm just going to drizzle the best I can, some of that sauce. And here's when, if you love spicy, which I do, you can put some hot sauce. I just have some Cholula hot sauce. I'm just gonna put a little bit here, but then I like to have it on the side. And now we wrap. I'm not the neatest wrapper, okay? So just bear with me. I'm actually gonna flip this around so I don't make a total mess. Okay, and you're rolling, and as you're rolling, you're pulling in the sides so that everything's tucked in, and then you're pushing with your fingers here. Make sure you have clean hands or gloves, and then you have that burrito like that. Well, not bad. I mean, not spectacular, but not bad. Okay, now we're gonna crisp it up in a pan just so the cheese gets really melty and the outside has a nice crisp texture to contrast that kind of creamy, wonderful inside. So let's go back to the stove. All right, I'm here at the stove. Time to crisp up the burrito. I've got my cast iron pan back on the stove on medium heat. Let's throw in just a little bit of butter. This will help us crisp that outside and also bring a little flavor to the kind of bland tortilla. Once it's melted, we can just rest the burrito in the pan to crisp it up. But make sure you put the seam side down first. It'll kind of lock everything in and keep it from busting open. You'll hear it kind of sizzle. We just want to get it nice and brown. And a nice sharp serrated knife so we can cut it in half and see the inside. Tongs or something that you're comfortable with to flip this. This will work pretty fast, especially if you're using cast iron. You could also use a non-stick skillet, whatever you have is totally fine here. I just love cast iron, or a griddle pan is perfect for this. This is also one of those things you can make a bunch of them. Don't heat them up in the pan like I'm doing yet, just assemble them, roll them in foil, put them in the fridge, and then you can just heat them in a pan all week long and have this for breakfast if you want, or a lunch. You may have a job like I do, where I'm on my feet all day long, running around, and I need fuel. So this will definitely fuel you up. It has all the nutrients and beyond. My burrito is browned on all sides. It should be nice and melty inside. Now you can cut it straight across or on a bias. I just like a little bit of a bias. I think it looks really pretty. So just cut. Wow, look at the inside of that. All those layers coming together in the perfect crispy tortilla pocket. We've got the avocado, we've got those sweet caramelized plantains, we've got the fluffy scrambled egg, the gooey Monterey cheese, the sauteed black beans with the nice onion, and that crispy, salty, fried bologna. And don't forget that really bizarre garlic aioli we made with sweetened condensed milk. Strange, but so delicious. Now dip this in extra sauce. You can put some hot sauce, whatever you like, but I'm ready to chow down. Are you? It's got like this salty, sweet, tropical vibe almost. Took me on a trip right back to Costa Rica. This past winter, my husband and I went to Costa Rica and I'd eat a breakfast burrito every single morning. Actually, it did have plantains in it too, and avocado, and when I had that, I knew I had to put plantains in my breakfast burrito. But then we put that fried bologna, that nostalgic deli meat that we often forget about. Crisp it up and you have the perfect addition to a breakfast burrito. Your friends are gonna love this. Make this for your next brunch. Everyone will be drinking, laughing, enjoying, reminiscing on the good old days when we used to eat bologna sandwiches. It's sure to be a hit. I'm Chef Danielle Sepsy. This is Gnome at Home. If you enjoyed this recipe, be sure to click subscribe down below and the notification bell so you can be the first to know when I post other recipes. And follow me on Instagram. I'm constantly posting new tips and tricks and recipes all week long. So join me there as well. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.